Hi there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pillars of Eternity. In our previous episode, to be honest, I don't really know what we did. We did Elm's Reach. We spoke to the little nymph ladies. We killed the one clan, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, wait, that was an Oldsong. No, but we did kill a clan here. Whatever, we killed people, a lot of people. And then yes, now we're in Oldsong. And hopefully we can go up here to Northwald as well today. Okay, so let's get going. We're going first. Heleya Shrine, Oldsong, Callawayne's Mall, Oldsong, Noonfrost. Okay, we don't want to go there yet. Peril Isle, Oldsong District. Okay, let's go up here. Oh wait, look, a Loth wants to speak.
Yes? If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
It just means we've got to focus on finding Theos.
Yes, focus on the goal. A sensible perspective, particularly in the midst of such uncertainty. And while I hate to turn the subject back to myself, this all has me thinking about Isilmir. I'm stuck with her now.
You've been awakened for decades now. Did you really think anything would change?
I suppose not, but hope is an unchaste mistress.
He says, and on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. You've got to make that decision a lot. What do you think?
I've been thinking about it a lot lately. About her recklessness, her unpredictability. About how my own irresolution is to blame. I need to start taking control. And that begins here.
Even as he says it, something struggles within him. The muscles in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back in his skull, exposing silver of white. Sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think deep down I'd always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious gear, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away, just as he'd called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Legend Key, I hoped and believed that with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you, I realized your unique talents. I hope that you might be able to reach into my soul that way, the way I've seen you do it with so many others. I'd been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. That's how it's supposed to be. You search your answers elsewhere and find them in yourself.
That's a charming way to think of things. And not an unpleasant one either. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
He says it quietly as if afraid someone might overhear it. I don't know what they meant.
It's just... I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that was somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
So don't think about it.
Sound advice, indeed.
Always stop. Let's discuss something. No. Tell me about the idea. Oh, wait. Fuck it. We'll have those conversations later. What's up with everybody? Everybody's bruised ribs, twisted ankle, wrenched knee, swollen eye, wrenched shoulder. The fuck? Camping is not allowed, Jim. We need to go rest somewhere.
Sure.
No, not just one.
Hey there.
All of you.
Hello!
Do we feel better? Yes, we do. You must go to your party before venturing forth. Okay, so now we start this, instead of starting at the top, we start at the bottom and we work our way to the top. Okay, protect not interested. Protect myself. Rua.
Builder's wisdom to you.
An older woman stares at the sky with an air of deep contemplation. She occasionally puffs from a wooden pipe, blowing smoke into perfect circles. What stands before me? She swipes her lips. She wipes her lips with the back of her hand. Her teeth, uneven and pointy, are stained red. I do not see Estremorn often. She picks the remains of the awkward root stuck in her gums. And believe me, I see many things. Perhaps you want to see them too. Yes, she gestures behind her at assortment of plants, roots, and vials lying on the rug. That means what you have to trade. Oh, this looks awesome. I want one. Wait, is this a mage spell? I don't know if this is a mage spell, but let's see. If it's a mage spell, I want it. Potion of iron. Not your shit potion. Okay. Where is it now? Where's that spell? What's this? Attack swarm. Where's the loth? Okay. Can't do anything. This I can't do anything with. It's basically just your armor and your weapon. Two might. He's got enough tributes to intelligence. What do clerics use? Resolve. Constitution. I might actually, for that extra HP, actually give him Constitution. See what use might have. Okay. What's this? Ultra Dragon Scale. The fuck am I supposed to get an Ultra
Hey
Dragon
there.
Scale?
Eyes open.
Stack of manual control. No, no one to please no one. No cloud and spine of fairy made kids to spark with them.
Builder's wisdom to you.
Salutations, Ishramor, the Autumn troops and the sing-song voice. I am known as Delum, chanter of Oldsong. I trust you are enjoying the beauty of the sacred place. Are you the resident entertainer? I sing to entertain Oldsong visitor, but at last the crowds have thinned into little more than a trickle. The chill wind from Rimgrand's temple is driving people away. Now I sing, but nobody listens. My music is without purpose. But I know of a solution, a way for me to make my songs warm and passionate, counter Rimgod's incessant chills. The Orlan smiles and reaches out with a grasping motion. All I need are a few rare songbirds. I could eat them and absorb their musical energy. With that kind of musical powers in my soul, I could sing a song that could bring back the merry crowds. I'll help you acquire the birds. His eyes widen with delight. Splendid, he exclaims with a clapping hands. For my song to be pitch perfect, I will need a tiam, a bird often found throughout Twin Elms, often in high tree nests, but some have been domesticated. I'll also need a shardwing. Shardwings prefer to nest in outdoor formation, suits their natural camouflage the best. Oh, and most important, if I plan on hitting those high notes, I'm going to need a cloud singer. Those little warblers can only be found in the highest mountain peaks. Many thanks, Estremor. Bring me these birds and I'll sing like Heleya herself. Yeah, we'll see about that.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
Life was rough back in the day. What's this?
I hope our duties won't require us to linger too long.
The pale elf searches you with ice blue eyes. She shifts and knits her fingers together. Welcome to Noonfrost. Most of the temple is currently closed for sacred ceremonies to Rimgard. She forces a smile and waves to the eastern doorway. The shrine is to your right. You're welcome to make your offerings to Rimgard there, but the rest of the temple is off limits. Tell me about Rimgard. He's the god of cold, entropy, and collapse. Many see him as a harsh god, but few recognize that he gives life in his own way. All things wind to the merciful end in his shadow. Only to feed creation is elsewhere. She frowns, gnawing her lip. But he's a silent god, and his ways are mysterious. To follow him is to accept inevitable without explanation. Why is most of the temple closed? As I said, we're in the middle of sacred ceremony. She enunciates carefully. They're rather complex, and we don't permit outsiders to witness them. She glances at the elves over her shoulder. Others of my clan get rather touchy about them, which is why you should visit the shrine and take your leave. What are you doing here? My clan journeyed from the white that wins to pay homage to Rimgard here at Noonfrost. We'd learned that this place had been abandoned for several years, and we felt it our duty to tend to one of our god's oldest temples. She rolls her shoulders back. It has been a long journey, but Rimgard demands endurance. No doubt he will reward us for ours. Okay. Ooh. Let's quick save. Okay, get your panties in a twist.
Yeah? I'll take a peek. I see where you're going with that. There. What did I tell you? This calls for a subtle touch. Sure.
Okay. See, I don't want to kill the whole of Twin Elm. And if I go on like I'm doing now, that is where I'm heading.
Sure.
Can't go that way.
On the bright side,
How did you see me? I didn't open that. How did you see me? Through the fucking door. Well done. X-ray vision. They don't even have proper guns yet, but they can see through walls. Okay.
Sure.
Here first.
nice, subtle.
Is he complaining? Okay. All companions, all companions, and no.
Arensi has no right to defend that cowering cat in the back of the mall.
Then track her down and tell her yourself.
Why are you sliding, bro?
Kareth, this is no place for sightseeing, even for you. The beasts of Galawain's Maw are dangerous, and now more than ever. They won't fight. It is not Galawain's way, and it is not the way of the Maw.
The Maw has always been home to one of the great predators. Every so often, a challenger comes along and the two battle for territory, but still remains in her den, and area owners can't confront her there. Now, two mighty predators and their kin hunt for the same stock. It's thinning the herds, and it's thinning patience around here too. He resumes his pacing, and this waiting, it's not the deliberate, watchful waiting of a hunter lying in ambush. It's stagnation, tedium, hoping for something to happen. He clenches his hands into fist, but I'm powerless to act on. One half of the fangs will cry favoritism if I try to drag the lioness out myself. I'm an unbiased outsider. I could look into it. He scratches his cheek. No harm in letting you try, I suppose. Anything's better than this endless waiting. If you can somehow bring this to a resolution, these tensions will end. If not, he grins, the beast will make short work of you. He gives you a heavy iron key. We don't normally permit outsiders to venture into the Maw, but you understand that you do so at your own risk, and Sol's lions are likely to attack intruders on sight. Still, perhaps you can coax her into fighting the bear. Do whatever you can to end the stalemate. Let's talk about something else. I want to know about the two predators. There's never been more cunning hunter than Sol, but some say she's losing her to age. Eora's one, on the other hand, is all age, and many of our numbers think he's the rightful successor. His fingers drum and a restless rhythm on his thigh. Blood simmering, it's going to boil over if a little doesn't spill soon. Something else, I prefer action to talk. Would you favor Sol or Ornus? He frowns. I see both sides. She's cunning and unmatched, but Ornus is the mightier of the two. Both embody traits prized by Galawain. This is Galawain's Maw.
Yes, a den of beasts sacred to the Lord of the Hunt himself. Historically, the greatest predator of Air Glanfath has claimed the back of the Maw as its lair. Lately, however, there's been some dispute as to who should occupy that position. And it's leading to discord among our hunters.
Tell me about yourself. I'm the leader of the Fangs. We're an order of hunters and warriors devoted to Galawain, and we see that the place of the builders remain pure. Not truly a tribe, but we do gather and argue like one. Our members come from all of the tribes, but most of us were born three-tusked Stelgar, fisher crane and keepers of the stone naturally. Where could I find Sol? Straight at the back of the Maw, he points down the halls to either side of him. You could get through either way, but mind where your feet step. The Maw is a dangerous place, and Sol's pride and her advocates are on the alert. Where could I find Ornus? Good question. Bear's out hunting right now, but he'll return and he'll never be. He's never gone for long. Okay. No.
Sure.
Quiet.
Oldsong District.
And what do we have here? And what do we have here?
Quiet.
And what do we have here?
Worth
I'll teach you a lesson!
That weapon is bigger than you.
Sure. There's something you don't see every day.
Oh, there's just back in there.
Isn't this something?
I've noticed on a lot of the traps, they actually give you indication that there's traps there. It's not like other games where you just see like a marker, like, well, fuck it, there's a trap there.
And what do we have here?
Nice and quiet.
An elven woman intercepts you as you advance into the lair. Behind her is the largest lioness you've ever seen, a sleek beast with fangs as long as carving knives. The woman blocks your path to the lioness, seemingly to ease around the monster. This is Sol's domain. Estromor shall not leave it, or Orneos, or any other challenger. Why does Sol refuse to fight? Orneos is welcome to confront her here, as many challengers have in past. What the bear supporters want is for Sol to leave her lair and fight in the open, where he has an advantage. But why should she? If Sol has an advantage here, it's one she's earned. Would anyone expect to blunt the bear's claws in order to even the odds? The Lord of the Hunt gives unique advantage to each. It's not for us to decide that some of them are worth less than others. The lioness gives a low growl, and Eris smells. Also, Sol has recently given birth to cubs. They're now small now. But when they grow, they'll be mightier than either Sol or Orneos. But if Sol is killed in combat, the bear will tear her young to shreds. Such is the way of the wild. Her legacy is too valuable to perish this way. If we truly want the mightiest of beasts in the moor, then her cubs must grow to maturity. I'll deal with all this. Good. That bear isn't nearly as strong as Ainden and his followers think. If someone were to prove that just how easily that bear can be killed, that would cure everyone of their delusion about it. Heleya glares at you with a worried smirk. I wonder what Galawain will think of all of this. His great lioness gets someone else to deal with a challenger. He falls silent for a moment before becoming instantly cheerful. And I would love to watch someone other than me offend the Seeker God. The Seeker God. I can't wait to see how he tests them for their lack of deceiveness. What a burr. It's a burr.
Mm-hmm.
Light, flame, and sound. We'll keep to ourselves.
And what do we have here?
Okay, this is it, guys. Nice knowing you. Probably getting shredded by a bear the size of a dragon.
Come to see the great Oernos, Estramor? He's back from his hunt. Unlike that lioness, he doesn't stay cooped up in here for long.
Why can't Ornus go and fight the
Because
lighthouse?
she holes up at the back of the maw, surrounded by her pride and the natural hazards of this place. It's not the proper way to meet a challenger. She's got to come out and face Oernos to keep her claim. Anyway, her prime is past. Putting that old beast down would be a mercy at this point.
Ornus is the rightful champion.
If you stand on the side of that toothless old bag of bones, then you stand in my way.
A skilled hunter would make his own advantage. Why hasn't Ornus? You claim truth. In my eagerness to see a new champion, my eyes missed that what yours haven't seen. If Ornos is the true champion, he'll triumph despite his disadvantage, just like Sol always has. I'll leave Ornos onto his own fate then. Ornos looks at Aiden and his barbarians leave. The giant bear rakes the ground with a massive claws and growls at you. The cavern seems to shake as Ornos charges forward. That is not how it works. You can't just charge. What is this? Returning storm. What is this one called? Relentless storm. Heleya. Smack that. You. Smack that. You casting a spell. You. Casting.
How may I help?
Transform. Cast that. Shit that.
Yeah?
You. Heleya. What is wrong with you? How many turns have passed? Thank you.
It's done!
You. Next. Next.
Hey,
Yeah?
King of the Hunt, and he couldn't give him a proper loot. Proper loot? Asshole. I've dealt with Orners. You chose well, soul sculpts will grow up to be quick and fierce, and so will her fangs if we follow their example. Thank you for resolving this, Estramore. Oh, giving me shit? Rude.
Tread carefully, Estramore.
Yes, my truth. When I heard she'd led another in, I almost went to the bachelor for the 6 months out to share words. Have other foreigners come this way recently? Glamfathan worshippers of Rome God, they claim, simply looters and defilers by another name, that's the truth. They disappeared behind the doors of Noonfrost, and now our lake turns to ice and cold creeps ever closer. Yet Bethel is timid, and she has convinced the other Amanfatha that we must respect their Estramorn and their traditions no matter what mischief guides their hand. She raised her head slowly, looking at the phone. I'm guessing you didn't leave it at that? I sent my own sister, one of the finest girls, to sniff out the pale elf's corruption. I was certain that Amanfatha could not ignore the defilement of the Infos once Alwa's own eyes had seen it, but she still hasn't returned. Now I bear the responsibility of her fate, and I can't send the fangs after her without openly defying Amanfatha. I don't dare to hope whatever catastrophe has befallen Noonfrost does not feel like the work of the Gith, but nothing would bring me greater joy than seeing her again. She glanced at the sand and frowns. I would take any assistance you can give. What are you doing here? My stock equip my brethren in the fangs, and my hands train them in fight, hunt, and track with skill. Tell me about them all. Our ancient place of peace and dangers, as followers of the clever hound, we assemble the train here as hunters, warriors, and defenders of the builders' sacred places. Chaos pervades them more, and more than ever due to the stalemate between the beasts. She shakes her head. This thorn refuses to intervene, and my itch is to settle matter over blood. Do you have any supplies for sale? Only the finest. Ooh. Attack speed. Human armor, Orlan. Dwarf, elf. Shit. Grounds harbinger. No. Area of effect 2-meter radius from cast over. Minus your accuracy. Oh. DR9, recovery exceptional 4, damage reduction, stealth, movement speed. The remains of a broken bridge long collapsed lead to deep chasm. The other side of the bridge pierces through the mist at the far end of the chasm, hanging perseveres over the step fall. Examine the area. The broken stones of the bridge, whether after centuries of despair, are scattered along the edge of the side of the chasm. A thin mist rises from below. The stones are coated with slick green moss, making them impossible to grip safely. The wooden beams lodged between the stones on either side of the bridge seem sturdy enough to support your weight, however. Let's save. But what is this going to give me now? I'm just going to go there. Oh, I can go there. Let's see. Toss your rope and grappling across the chasm. You aim the wooden beam on the opposite side of the bridge and hurl your grappling hook across the chasm. It strikes the bridge with a solid thunk. Ah! The remains of broken bridge, long collapse, lead into a deep chasm. The other side of the bridge pierces through the mist at the far end of the hanging preciously over the steep fall. Your rope stretches across the gap, across the chasm. The rope tenses and vibrates as you move forward, gripping the line, reverberating throughout the underground cave. The creaks of the wooden beams mark your every effort. You keep your progress slow and steady. The crossing is strenuous, particularly as the rope's shaking grows more intense. Karanak's breathing grows labored, and a lot Durance and Ravia's begin to slow. At last, your efforts bring you back over solid ground, and you reach the other side. Like I said, useless. Where's that? Here it is. It's a stealing. That's not.
Still looking around?
I
Watch
thought
your
the
step.
situation.
Tempers run hot around here, and not just among the animals.
I've dealt with the situation between Sel and Ornus. Until remains empty, and many of the fangs are gladder to see her stay. Perhaps it's Galloway's way of telling us to remember our roots and pride, our cunning as hunters. Thank you for your help, Garrett. May Galloway guide your path. Take this with our thanks. He seems to suddenly remember something. You might visit Eora to pray for the Lord of the Hunt. He sometimes grants special favors for those who prove themselves. What'd you give me? Sword, one-handed. Slash pierce damage, accuracy, exceptional light accuracy. DR bypass. Okay. Go up here.
We can't stay down here. Someone must go to the nest eventually.
Two wood elves, a man and a woman, wear colorful robes embroidered with a matching emblem, a winged egg. Apart from their clothing, they couldn't be more different. She folds her arms and continually scowls at the broken walls around them. He, on the other hand, mutters prayers. His shade-dabbled face as tranquil as the cloudless sky.
Just how are we supposed to worship the Sky Mother from among the weeds, This is a disgrace.
Calm yourself. We should be grateful that she protected us from the winged terror. Besides, even here we have a visitor.
What is the winged terror you speak of?
A dragon. One that has taken up residence in the nest, the true temple of Heleya, and slain many of her faithful. And one which a new one has been in favor of killing from the beginning.
But no, you advised caution. Now word spread that the dragon ate a few of our followers, and anyone willing to slay it wants an Anumfoth's ransom for the job.
I told you a larger party wouldn't stand a chance. By the time the first half reached the top of the mountain, the second half would still be stuck in the pass. It'd be burned alive. Contrary to Anuin's suggestion, I am in favor of sending someone to kill the dragon. But I suggest a smaller party, and one willing to seek Helia's blessing.
He gives you a curious look. I could go after this dragon.
You could.
What she means is that this is no mere drake, but a fully grown dragon, and one that has willingly moved into a populated area. You'll want every advantage at your disposal, including the blessing of the Sky Mother herself. I would suggest that you petition her directly at Ter Evron, if you haven't already.
If you want to follow this path, you'll pass through the Northweld, but the way up the mountain continues from there. It's near one of those big circles laid by the boulders. Okay. So, it is time to meet them. Elms Reach.
Perhaps a little rest is in order.
You always want to rest. Such a lazy guy. Can I rest here? No. Shattered shard stone blocks the passage into the sun. 10 years of then 10 years of light follows leave. I'm not going to read all this. Okay. Final journal of Jonas. My son, tomorrow I become the effigy, tomorrow I become scans and bonnet of Eora, tomorrow my master shocks. Oh, it's that one again. Visitors of the hand of their cult. Dearest brother, or was it sister? May this letter find you in the well spirits. A man of thuggish bearing stormed into my library the other day and demanded I help him find a book on the construction of arquebus. I thought it proper service to Whale to steer this man toward the illuminated manuscript on the subject of whittling toy soldiers and other miniature props. Unamused by my solution, I shrugged and said, "What is an answer without a question?" He did not find my spiritual rhetoric helpful or amusing, and so he punched out 2 of my teeth. I trust your summer has been less tumultuous than mine. In more important news, my apprentice claims that she saw the eyeless face in a dream the other night. I admit I was so mad with envy that at first I refused to believe her. Well, forgive me for such a lapse of judgment. She described an Omawa of brilliant blue hues, with a featureless face surrounded by a swarm of eyes, no two eyes alike. She claims Whale ignored her question, and she can't recall any specific of what was said. In fact, my apprentice seems to have forgotten many things since before the visitation. She could not tell me where she grew up or what she liked to eat. Oh, I did read this previously. Many faces of breath, breath. No. Book of the Hunt, the idea affirmers, focus on effigy. Excerpts from the scratch of sermon, advice memories. Man.
Magnificent.
Ooh. Let it go away. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. Oh, wait. Efficiency. Book of the Hunt. Okay. When my students ask me to be taught by the way of the gallant, I tell them that they have already failed. Does one ask a deer to present itself to us dinner? Of course not. One must outwit, outmaneuver, and overpower the deer if one dreams of venison. So it is with this. So it is with the secret God. To ask a question in weakness and idle indecision, to ask answers to understand and to become one with Heleya. Survival begins with the strength from within. But I only strike my students when they ask the second stupid question, for all of us begin young and weak. It is a point fact and not one of shame, and a central tenet of Heleya's teachings. Perseverance and cleverness are prized by Gallowayans above brute force, a fact my young pups often forget. It is right and proper that the strong lead the weak, and it is equally proper that the strong be continually tested until the balance changes. Galloway celebrates the strength of the victor and the prowess of the well-fed predator, but above all, the clever hound celebrates the transformative nature of strength. Galloway's greatest desire for us is that prey become spirits and mewling babes grow into strong hunters and the lost find their own enlightenment. This philosophy is best amplified by the rites of the Amanfather of your Glanfather. When one of the Glanfather spiritual leaders is old and nearing death, it is customary to enter the woods and confront Galloway's herd. If the seeker god finds the Amanfather's life, deeds, and soul worthy, the reward is a quick death and his soul joins Galloway's pack. If deemed unworthy, the Amanfather is killed, his soul forced to find its own way to the next life, and his memory erased from the records of the tribe. Survival begins with strength from within, and weak leaders endanger the whole pack. This is Galloway at its purest. If at the end of life one must struggle the worthiness of greatness, just as one must struggle every day to feed this pack. The secret god is easy to understand if only active engaged in the quest of knowledge, but his secrets are self-occluded to those who merely ask, desiring knowledge without the requisite hunt. My own flesh and blood once asked me, Will learning to hunt please Galloway? I told him yes, but added, Galloway would prefer that you hunt to learn. 10 Years of Dawn. I am not gonna read 10,000 books. I can promise you that. Pray to Galloway. All things can be reforged. There is life in death and death in life. Survival begins with the strength from within. Live every note. Struggle is our fundamental of nature. I sing of the ocean. All life ends until tomorrow. My master chokes on me. What is the answer without a question? When Mordecai takes back a throne, all wrongs shall be righted. Survival begins with the strength from within. The air silent stirs and the gust of warm wind blows across the back of your neck. You catch a faint smell of wet earth. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself pushed forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you found yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the rain. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on your nape of your neck still rises. Something leaves from the bushes. You find yourself bent on your back and staring into the amber eyes of a massive hound. The beast looks at you, gleaming fangs protrude from the sides of its mouth. Its nose twitches and inhales your scent, starting at your shoulder and proceeding down the length of your arm. You follow its nose in your hand, which is covered in blood. A tongue as red as meaty as the steak lolls out of the mouth of swipes your bloody hand. His lips curl into what looks like a smile. The beast looks back at you, and as it fixes you with his glowing eyes, his muzzle retreats into a long bearded face, and his pointed ears lengthen, dropping into the side of its head. What was a massive hound becomes a giant man, his broad muscled shoulders draped with furs, He holds a flint knife to your neck and grins, revealing a row of long pointed teeth.
Tread carefully. Let my face be a warning sign to always treat Gallowayne and his messengers with caution and reverence.
The lioness reigns still, and soon her cubs will rise. Why did you strike the bear down?
The lion has found an advantage and held it. Her cunning made her the more deserving champion.
Strength begets strength. The mighty seize an advantage in their jaws and do not let go. They shake and wring it, puncture its arteries with sharpened fangs. Blood whets their appetite.
The changeling throws his head back and closes his eyes, breathing deeply of the cool air. He lets out a howl that rings through the air. He lowers his head, puffs on steams rising from his panting mouth. Twigs crunches and branches snap. The ground shivers under the weight of the pacing, prowling footsteps. A dozen beasts, bears, wolves, and long-fanged cats stalk out of the undergrowth, their matching amber eyes fast on you. Aloth takes a step back from the beast. Just how real do you think this is? As the beasts encircle you, their master rises to his feet. Even the largest of the bears can only reach his brown and muscle-knotted shoulders. You stand mindful of the ring of predators surrounding you.
You sought and won the favor of Gallowayne. What new prey do you now pursue?
I hunt Theos.
To track a quarry, you must understand its movements. And Theos follows the path of a more powerful master.
A warm breeze carries a smell of smoke and gunpowder. Sparks ignite and float in the draft. Catching in the leaves from Gallowayne's head, a sudden blast of heat scalds your face, and even as you turn away, a flash of light sears your vision through your eyelids. When you look back, you see a woman in full plate standing next to Gallowayne. Her mirror-polished armor flickers with the images of reflected flames. You can't see her face, but her voice is strong and clear like the ringing of steel.
Let him know his foe.
The whore breaks the silence at last. Have you missed me, Margaret? You may have found other lovers, but surely none that was my equal. Margaret says nothing in response. Indeed, she never even glances in Duran's direction. An involuntary tick causes the baggy skin beneath Duran's eyes to quiver. He says no more. His ruddy skin blanches his wife.
Theos has trapped thousands of souls in sun and shadow, like rabbits in a snare. Now, he goes there to retrieve the kill for his master, Woodica. She will feast on them, suck their marrow, grow strong on their essence.
Why would Theos help Woodica?
Because he is her hound. He has always done her bidding.
Woodica stands for an old order. So does Theos.
A girl made of black and pitted iron steps into the Margaret shadow. Its movements are slow yet precise. Each footfall accompanied by the groaning and grinding of metal. The steady orange glow of furnace skulls emanates from its eye sockets.
They both fear change, and the Deerwood has changed much recently. People find answers not in the gods, but in animancy, the product of their own labors.
And why not? When they have learned that even a god can be killed.
She says that like it wasn't her followers that unleashed the God Hammer. What should I do about it?
Your feet are swift, and your instincts true, hunter. Track Theos. Follow the trail he has left for you, and corner him in sun and shadow.
You must stop him before he empowers Woodica.
And if you do, you will have a different decision to make.
And if you believe you are free to make the decision how you wish it, you have not been listening to our conversations along the road.
Souls were ripped from the world, ripe and full and pulsing with essence. Scatter them like bones to a pack of dogs. Their essence will strengthen the souls of the Deerwood. Let the remains of the dead feed the survivors.
Why would I feed the lost soul's essence to the rest of Deerwood?
To breed strength, Power is born from the mixing of essence and blood.
What Theos did cannot be undone. Thousands of lives have changed, and thousands more have ended because of his actions. But transformation gives purpose to trial.
And improvement is the goal of all Kith. Long lives, prosperous futures, stronger minds and bodies. Strengthening those who remain will help repair the damage that Theos has done to the Deerwood.
Now I've got to find Theos.
And when you descend the pit to Sun in Shadow, you can count on our assistance to see you safely through. As I hope we can count on yours when you reach the bottom. There are many souls upon the Burial Isle that are sworn to serve us. They belong to you now, and they shall guide your descent.
Beware the promises of a God Watcher. They are binding, but only in one direction. The beast grow restless, pawing the ground and eyeing you with renewed interest. The bear sniffs at the ground next to your leg. One stale skulks into the circle, its amber eyes glowing. Galawain holds his knife between your feet, sinking into its handle. He raises his empty hand.
Hunt him, mortal. And when you stop him, let the souls he has captured feed the Deerwood.
Strengthen the souls of those who remain. Prepare them to face the challenges that will follow. Pledge that you will do this, and we will grant you a power fit for the finest warrior who ever lived.
Betray us, and my beast shall track you down. Our allegiance is not to be accepted and cast aside.
My friend, this is a most auspicious moment. The Lord of the Hunt has spoken to you without omission or riddles. Heed what he said about his beast seeking you out should you stray from the task, for it is not an empty promise.
I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Consider and calculate, but decide.
Galawain's hand falls and the growling pack lunges into a circle. The vision vanishes in an instant, returning you to Tear Everon, where burning candles replace the glowing eyes of Galawain's beast. Damn. Okay. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. I think we will have in the next episode we'll have a few conversations with the gods here, Heleya, Barath, and Grimgod. I don't know why we can't speak to Skane and the others, but anyway, I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a fantastic day.